in Stockholm and settled into our accommodation.
Hello.
Not quite such a scary prisoner. Room number 118.
This is our room. Welcome.
Oh, the smell's too bad. Did you take your shoes off? Looks like he has. Will, are you naked up there?
Get in there.
For fuck's sake.
Just don't look in this mirror from your angle.
Oh, Jesus, Will!
Whoa, yeah.
We escaped our cell momentarily for sightseeing and Swedish meatballs.
I can't believe that after 2 weeks of pretty much non-stop bickering between us and the decision in the first place to drive the entire way to Mongolia together, we've elected to lock ourselves in a tiny prison cell for 2 nights. Does something not seem amiss to you about that?
Yeah, I think we've made some pretty stupid decisions on this trip. This could evolve into one of them, but I have to say today we fought not at all.
There's something very calming about Sweden.
Hello. Could I get a latte, please?
Yeah.
This is the first decent coffee that I've had since I think we left London.
A king of Sweden, Gustavus Adolphus, commissioned the building of a huge, majestic warship called the Vasa in the 1600s. However, there were stability issues and no one was game to tell the king. She sunk on her maiden voyage, taking many to their deaths. You can imagine how incredible the ship would have been in full colour paint and trimmings, and was one of the most powerfully armed ships in the world. A quick stop at Cafe Manure and Shitty Wok, and then on to some real adventure.
Doesn't the girl go with them in Stockholm Boogie?
Sorry?
Doesn't the girl go with them in Stockholm Boogie?
Yeah, but not me, I'm not the girl.
Not gonna have it? Which one's going?
Here we have James attempting to reenact a scene out of, what is it called? Stockholm Boogie?
That's it.
It's a Swedish film, one of James's best. And it involves swinging off a bridge, but first he has to climb over some rather deadly spikes. Oh my god, he so wants to do it, but I don't want him to have to call, I don't have to call an ambulance. Oh my god. So the bottom line is, he hurt himself getting off the fence. This, my friends, is where James falls and kills himself. He did! Fail climbing fences, fail climbing a rope. What did we learn? You're a fat bastard. That's what we learnt. Our new video is entitled Things Fat Bastards Can't Do. Careful, I'll get your camera.
You do have my camera.
Yes, and your wallet. And your wallet. And I don't want to get your smelly wet germs all over me.
But I finally did get over that fence and my muscles had grown huge from the challenge. Stockholm truly is a beautiful city. All good things must come to an end, so we packed our bags and headed to the ferry.
We've had some lovely dinner and there's just remnants of coffee. How long would you say we've been sitting here?
I think half an hour since we finished our coffees.
Can you believe it? We finally got out of the restaurant.
The beautiful islands provided a perfect backdrop as night descended.
So if anyone's ever seen the Titanic, let's have a look at these decks. Let's see what we got here. So up the top here, Captain Deck, then the Compass Deck. That's a pretty cool deck. Conference Deck 8. Restaurant Deck, that's where everyone eats obviously and all that sort of stuff. Info and Shopping Deck. The Sextant Deck, that's first sleeping quarters.
The first one's on there.
Oh, there's some sleeping over here as well. So then there's the Sexton's Deck, the Bell Deck, the Car Platform Deck. Now this is right down the bottom where the 3C, that's where our car is, very important in our cars. You come down to level 3, another car deck, and then finally the Anchor Deck. Now, we're sleeping here, which means we are not as important as our smart cars. if the ship sinks, we're going to be down with the Irish at the bottom going fiddly-dee-dee-dee-dee. While they lock the doors, we won't be able to get out. We just like the Titanic.
With that guy.
With this guy here, who
don't know
appears
what
to
he's
be
doing.
making soup, or what on earth is that? He's got a pot. There we are on Anchor Deck 2, and let's have a look at the
9,
decks.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3C, 3, and...
We're not even listed. This is how bad our rooms are. We're not even listed. How much do we pay for these tickets?
Not enough.
We met two Finns, Sana and Johanna, who introduced us to Finnish drinking culture. And before we knew it, we were in Helsinki. Picturesque buildings, monuments and coastline, Helsinki is a city that has managed to stay small and beautiful. After some sightseeing, I met with Sana, Johanna and their friend Annette.
Te olette ihan hulluja. Those locals forever. You're so crazy drive to Mongolia. Crazy Australia. Crazy awesome.
Marker at 3, 2, 1, action.
Mormons loves this car. You can fit 2 wives and a husband. Even your children will be able to
In the back.
in the back.
Premier family car, too smart.
So how was the ride? Did you enjoy that, Sana?
Lovely. So groovy, so nice.
Awesome.
Sorry about your bladder though.
It's so good.
I have to get my...
I will make it.
Annette had spoken of the real Finland being sauna culture, and she explained that families have sauna cottages in the forest. I asked whether we could go to her family's cottage, and she called her father, who said no. But, unfazed, I suggested that we drive to see her father and try to convince him in person. After he saw the insanely small car that I was driving to Mongolia, he revised his answer to yes, with a strongly worded warning. The place and Annette blew me away. Amazing forest tranquility coupled with barbecue dinner and wood-fired sauna. The Finnish know what life is all about. The next day, I woke up early to drive the 100 kilometers back to Helsinki, then onto the Russian border. We waited there for hours until finally the border guard pointed out that our visa did not begin until the next day. He pointed back the way we came and said, "You, Finlandia." With no other option, we found a place to camp for the night. I called Annette and talked about the challenges to come. She agreed to be my mental coach to help me through the rest of the rally.
Okay, so we've just entered Russia. Finally got through the border. Pretty funny, I had to line up about 4 times. But absolute torrential downpour. This is the good part of Russia, and the roads are terrible. The vehicles driving along, some of them look like they're straight out of World War II movies.
It's been a while since I've driven on roads this bad, and the roads are bad. It's very difficult to see under the water in this much water. We were told with the smart cars that water wasn't their enemy. If they were going to die, it would be the electrics caused by water getting into them.
I'm starting to think all these people that say we're crazy driving smart cars, maybe they've got a point. Something that's been just really surprising, as soon as we got into Russia, there are all these people dotted along the side of the road selling things.
The road was terrible.
Okay, we've been in Russia for all of about an hour and a half, and I can honestly say, I feel like I'm gonna die. The roads here are crazy, the drivers are fucking mad, people pass wherever they can on a single road on either side of the road. I'm gonna try to pass these trucks. Got past one of them. Fuck. Most people here would have just gone straight on. Look there, Will's gonna go straight through here. And you just hope that they stay over to the side long enough. Fuck. That was a little close. Because we're in these tiny little smart cars, everyone's trying to zoom past us, and at the same time we're trying to pass trucks. And it's only one lane either way, and literally the way everyone drives here, you just basically go straight on through and hope that people give you enough room. It's almost like being on a racetrack, and it only takes one car not to give you enough room and you're going to be in an accident. So it's definitely interesting, and we've got a long way across Russia, so hopefully we survive it.
Дорожное радио.
I can hear a bit of a ticking coming from my engine. Have no idea what that is. I'm definitely concerned about it. This is not somewhere that, well, there is nowhere that you want to break down, but given my my lack of funds, how bloody scary the roads are here, and how difficult it is to get around, I just hope that my car makes it through.
My car did make it to St. Petersburg, and before we knew it, we were meeting locals and checking out one of the most picturesque cities in the world. Or at least William was. The receptionist at our hostel had sent me on a monumental journey to the furthest outskirts of St. Petersburg in search of car insurance. William, however, had a wonderful time seeing all the sights, and then found car insurance in the middle of the city. Not to worry, I did get to throw a coin on a lucky cat, and not only that, a Russian gentleman at our hostel was only too happy to show me his art collection. There was Russian culture everywhere I looked.
It's quite tough to get anywhere. It's quite dangerous. It's really a matter of juggling potholes with faster cars, slower trucks, and a road that looks like it's made of patchwork. This is not just one little bit of bad road, this is quite literally the way it's been since we left St. Petersburg. So there must have been an accident up ahead or something like that, and basically what's happening is people are queuing up and just driving on the dirt pretty much wherever they can to try to get a little bit further up in the lines. I figure if I struggle on this, I'm sure as hell not going to make it through Kazakhstan and Mongolia, so I might as well just do it. Some of their houses here, I just think they're a great representation of what we've seen through Russia with, they're just so old. Everything is so old. Yeah, it seems to be very few new buildings. I mean, look at this one over here.
Some were in much worse condition.
Just in front of us, a great example of fine Russian engineering. The Lada car, if you can see the exhaust pipe, is about to fall off. It doesn't have a number plate. It looks like it's been shot up a bit. This is the standard Russian automobile, quality engineering this. We were told that if ever you see a person with sort of black underneath their fingernails, you know they drive a Lada.
We arrived into the city of Moscow at about 2 a.m. on a Sunday night, and straight into a traffic jam. This wasn't due to an accident. Moscow is just that busy of a city. The next day was reserved for sightseeing. The Kremlin, the Red Square, the architecture was amazing, and the scenery breathtaking.
This is William trying to stand as still as the guards behind. You blinked. The Berlin Wall was about an eighth of the size of this. I could not kick the footy over that.
That night we went for a walk. Nothing seemed to be open, but we heard music and saw lights coming from upstairs of a building. We investigated and somehow ended up invited to a private Russian party as guests of the DJ.
When I came to Spain and I saw people partying, I thought to myself, what the fuck, all day, all night, all day, all night, Viva la fiesta.
many vodkas later, and having fended off the advances of a Russian man, it was clear that Moscow was not my favourite place. So we prepared to hit the road once more. A long day of driving, and Moscow was in the past.
Here we are in Russia. We are, shit, how far are we? What, 1,000 k's out of Moscow?
The main highway is through those thickets of bush, and we've come down a random path on the side, bush bashed along, well, we literally bush bashed, and we've come across this little clearing here, which absolutely perfect for camping. Our cars are completely hidden from the road. We feel pretty safe here. Of course, if someone does find us, well, no one else will. So that's a bit of an issue.
Mozzies are really a nuisance.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Everything's out of your car. What's wrong?
We were coming in St. Petersburg. My engine was making a ticking noise. The action I didn't worry about it. I just didn't know what it was. By the time we got to Moscow, the oil light had flashed a couple of times. I was a little bit worried, and I lost a bit of power. So checked out the oil. Lo and behold, it's well below the minimum mark.
How much below?
We couldn't see any oil on the dipstick.
So you had no oil in your vehicle?
There was no oil at all in the vehicle. So I was pretty sure I'd screwed up the engine, but managed to find a local oil supplier, Luck or something like that, and filled her up with oil, overfilled it a bit but not too much, hopefully, and amazingly drove out of Moscow. The ticking noise went away, and managed to get here, and it just felt beautiful. It hasn't felt that good even when I first picked it up. So I think the car's in good order now, but I just want to check the oil to see if we've lost a whole lot of oil again on this trip. So this is how we do it. First of all, you need one of these. What this is a box of washing powder.
Oh, just to verify, do I have access to your cooking equipment tonight?
I think that's a discussion we're yet to have.
Well, no, because somebody brought the sockets, and that was me.
So you bought something this big, and I filled my whole boot with cooking equipment that you told me I was an idiot for buying.
Yes, correct.
And now you want access to the cooking equipment.
Do you have access to the socket?
I guess I do. This part just comes out.
Okay.
This is
the engine, by the way.
So it's a pretty cool little engine, actually. To think that this tiny little thing is actually getting us all this way. Well, hopefully getting us all the way. It's looking very good.
We can see why James has space issues here. Beautiful. Now, just to verify, we still have a sleeping bag, a tent.
Instructional video on how to set up tent. So basically, you pull these loops apart. If you can work it out, it's not too difficult. It comes open, and then this is what you do. You go like this. And that is how to secure the best tent spot when your brother set his tent up first. Don't leave it there, it's gonna fall.
It's the best way for me to get the tent spot back is to let go of the camera and then go.
No, get out. Hey, don't hold my tent.
We're going to talk a little bit about fire safety now.
This is it, fellas. This is
So,
fire safety.
I started the fire, I collected the kindling, started the fire beautifully, and as you can see I did a great job of clearing the area around the fire.
I wish you hadn't have set this up 1.5 meters from my tent.
I'm just going to
Don't
pan
try to
across
steal
to the fire in the background there. See how long I do this before we have to run because we started a bushfire.
I can't run. It takes me half an hour to cut my car. There's no way I can run.
Is it nice?
Yes.
Is it going to satisfy you?
It's absolutely delicious. Compared to that alu polak that I had, that we've got tons of, I've only got like 4 of these. What are we looking at here? Oh, that looks like cardboard. What are you thinking? We stay here the night?
No, just for a few hours, catch up on some sleep.
Don't video me like this.
You want to catch everyone at their best. We got up at about 8:30, had a bit of a sleep in, and drove for about 10 minutes. Then James spent 45 minutes at the petrol station. He cleaned his car, he did a good job. then we drove for half an hour, and then we stopped for half an hour at a cafe. We've driven for another 20, 30 minutes, and he needs a power nap.
This is your typical type of vehicle in this part of Russia, I guess. Pretty shitty, falling apart at the back, it's blowing out smoke, but still going. And it's quite amazing the extra life they seem to get out of these cars that would long since have been retired in Australia.
Just have a look at your patch-up work from an hour ago that was going to last all day.
Okay, your guess may have been correct.
What did we learn?
That's you lost the gaffer tape, and that's what we need for this job, not electrical tape. Find the gaffer tape.
It's in your car.
It's in your car.
It's in your car. We're just entering the outskirts of Kazan.
Did the GPS just tell us to beware?
Row of trees next to a crop of corn, so beautiful little spot for a nap. I'm putting my feet up as well as I can with the smart car, and I'm off to sleep.
When I woke up, I quickly realised that we were no longer alone.
And that could well be the last I ever see of Will.
But a few minutes later, he returned. He had attempted to be a good Samaritan and give a Russian guy a lift home, but had taken the wrong track through the cornfields.
Once you get past Moscow, it's just no English at all, so it makes things a bit tough, but this guy seems really well-natured and had to kick the footy with us, seems like a bit of a fun bloke.
As we arrived in the middle of nowhere, it occurred to me that leaving the highway was perhaps a mistake.
Oh, it's so cool with the chickens. I love it. Chickens are awesome. They look after themselves and they provide food. It's a perfect animal. You've only got to feed them once every now and then. It's gorgeous.
Can you speak to my friend?
William's girlfriend Natalia tried to explain that we had to leave.
After he talked to Natalia for some time, we still didn't know what was going on. Then he appeared to be coming out with this, a great big bag. Looks like it's got some sort of animal trap in it or something. And now William seems to have ascertained from Natalia that we're dropping him by the side of the road with his bag and whatever the hell's in it. Whatever it is, it's heavy and it hurt when it landed on my foot. So he's now on the phone. I don't know what's going on. I don't think William knows what's going on, and I don't think Natalia knows what's going on, but he's getting one car and I have some sort of stinky bag of some description.
Yeah, the guy is gone. Ruslan gone. We said goodbye. I left him at his place and we drove. No, I said goodbye. I said we have to go, and he wasn't ready, so he got his stuff out of James's car and then asked for your phone number, and I said no. And then that was it. That's it. Okay, no more. I will not pick up any more Russian people.
We're here at a beautiful 5-star hotel in a town that begins with T and ends in Stan in Russia.
It's actually a province.
Province, is it? Okay, province of Russia. And the reason we're staying here in this beautiful, excellent 5-star hotel is William could not handle camping for a night. One night's camping and he'd had enough with it, and he said, that's it, we're going to a 5-star hotel. So here we are in our bathrobes at the something spa hotel rated 5 stars, and for a grand price of $80 Australian each. Gotta love that exchange rate. And we're just deciding whether or not to go out for the night or enjoy the amenities available at the hotel. We're already found ourselves to be celebrities in the town because no one's ever heard of Smart before or seen a Smart car. So there are numerous people taking photos of our car now everywhere we go, which hadn't happened up to this point, so quite funny.
One of the hotel receptionists had offered to take me shopping for food in the morning, but sadly, I overslept.
So looking out the window, the way this town's constructed is literally rows and rows of these massive residential buildings. These ones are actually quite nice looking compared to most of them. But that's empty country, and then a town that's just full of high density living. And there's only 600,000 people that live here, but they live on about 4 streets.
After an exceptionally long day of driving, it was time to find somewhere to turn in for the night.
We think it's very unlikely that anyone in this town's going to speak English. Service stations out this way, they don't even have shops. We've literally driven for about 8 hours to find one service station that had a shop, which thankfully we found, and I bought myself some Pringles and an energy drink, and that's been it. It's only 8:30 p.m. at the moment, and it is getting very, very dark now. When we're in Finland, it wasn't dark by 10 or 11 p.m, so this is a significant change, and it was a bit unexpected. So it's dark, it's late at night, we've found what looks to be a motel. Now we're just hoping that they have vacancies, but looking at the parking lot, we will see.
The trucks won't be staying there, the trucks will stay in their cabs.
Hopefully they will. Let's give it a go.
Ребят, вы ебанулись! Guys, you are fucking crazy, yes? Ебанулись, это пиздец, до Улан-Батора от Лондона, это пиздец, просто доехать, охуеть!
No vacancy, no food, and a 5-hour drive to the next town. We pushed on, and amazingly, we made it, and were lucky enough to find a hotel that let us in at 2 a.m. The following day...
Okay, I finally got rid of the fucking fly out of my car.
Oh, James has just come back from a crap and he's just packing up his car.
Look, it's we can't, I thought that was a snake. We can't leave just yet. Basically, first crap in the bushes for the trip, and I nearly started a bushfire when I set alight the toilet paper so as not to leave any mess, but may not have been such a smart idea given the amount of dry kindling. Flies are fucking enormous here, but the big problem is these little bastards that are in my car. Because if they're in your car, they just go from your foot to your foot to your foot while you're trying to drive. It's a nightmare. Get the fuck out of there! Oi! Oi! Get out of there! Oi!
My rejoicing was premature. While the flies were out of the car, so was I. The scenery through Russia was both fascinating and constantly changing.
There's goats up there, there's cows over there, there's geese there, there's horses there.
There's a goose right here.
There.
It became apparent that we were no longer on the main road.
So this is where Will has managed to take us, trying to get to the Kazakhstani border. We've got a cemetery on our left. We're on a dodgy dirt track. I'm not sure whether this is a sign, whether this cemetery and whether these are people who have died trying to get to Kazakhstan, if this is the way that we are actually supposed to go, but we'll soon find out.
In Kazakhstan, petrol stations do not accept Russian rubles, MasterCard, Visa, or anything but Kazakhstani tenge. This forced us into a city to find an ATM. Wildlife encounters were unexpectedly common. Easy, big fella.
We've just left the first city that we stopped at in Kazakhstan. Had to leave it because the local police officer, well, one of the local police officers, flagged me down, pulled me over, and basically informed me that the tinting on the car is too dark and is illegal. Of course, this is just what comes factory fitted with the Smart, but since he'd never seen a Smart car before, that was never going to fly.
We are wondering at this point how long our cars are going to last before the suspension just goes, no, too much stress.
We had lunch at a dodgy cafe, drove for many hours, and then found a place to camp for the night.
So we've already been pulled up by the cops once this morning. The police in Kazakhstan so far don't like us. We've seen 2 police and been pulled over by both.
Authorities here definitely not as friendly as those in Russia. The only run-in we had with Russian police at all was when we were parked and a couple of Russian police came over to check out the cars to have a bit of a laugh with us, and they were just interested and wanted to try to have a conversation. Well, one of them did while his mate just cracked up laughing for about 5 minutes. It was actually pretty funny. So definitely prefer Russian police to Kazakhstani at this point. So about 2 days ago I started to get some diarrhea. The water's pretty bad here, it's got a lot of bacteria in it, so I wasn't drinking it or anything like that, but somehow I've managed to pick something up. Went to a chemist and basically showed them a translation for diarrhea. They gave me 2 different types of pill. I've also got some antibiotics from back home, and I'm now taking 3 pills, but I can't read the instructions. I don't know how often I'm supposed to take them or exactly what each individual pill does, but I've just realised I haven't actually been to the toilet since then, so although it might be solving one problem, I might well be creating another problem for myself, so we'll wait and see in a day or 2.
The major highway we were on suddenly took a turn for the worse. It was going to be a long day.
One good thing about having such tiny little cars is that even with this tiny amount of space, we can actually do a U-turn. We've actually been searching for an extra jerry can for the last week and a half, and we've wasted at least a day worth of just going into various shops and auto shops trying to find a jerry can, and it's just really hard to get them over here. I wish we'd bought more in England.
We needed petrol, but finding your way into a Kazakhstani town is not always an easy thing to do.
There he goes. And he's done it. Beautiful.
Turns out this place only has 80 octane.
Cars full of low-octane petrol, we headed back off on the highway. It wasn't all bad, but mostly it was. Kazakhstan was a country with wonderful monuments.
Okay, here we are at a monument somewhere in the middle of Kazakhstan. That's what country we're in, right? He's back.
I'm okay. So the going quite literally got that slow that we've taken off onto these tracks through the fields, which are significantly faster than the actual road, in much better conditions.
This is bordering on ridiculous now. This is not a pothole. I don't know what this is.
The roads were becoming more and more challenging, but our little smart cars were up to that challenge. Until this.
That was pretty special. So this is James's. Does this remind you? This reminds me of Austin Powers.
For those who haven't seen Austin Powers, this is how to make a quick getaway. Not a problem. Don't know what you're talking about.
We are going through a whole lot of birds. There's a car passing us, flying past. I don't know where he come from. He's going to fly. Look how many birds there are. Frustrated. James is overtaking me. Look at that. Brilliant passing manoeuvre there from James.
Back to Bitumen Road, and we met the real-life Kazakhstani A-team. There was Kazakhstani Hannibal, Kazakhstani Murdoch, Kazakhstani Peck, and even a less muscly Kazakhstani B.A. Baracus.
Nice to meet you. До свидания.
Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye. Very nice to meet you, Alexander. До свидания.
Неужели, да?
What a day. We are completely exhausted. The sun is beginning to set behind me. We've been looking for somewhere to camp for at least an hour. Just look around. I mean, Kazakhstan grows some friggin' trees, seriously. See those bushes over there? That's extremely long grass, a few bushes and a train line. There's just nowhere secluded anywhere. It's just miles and miles of open space.
We pushed on, and as day became night, the moon was nothing short of spectacular.
Well, there it is. There are the lights of Astana. Now we've just got to work out how on earth to get there. These dirt roads are killing me. It's now nearly 2 a.m.
We finally emerged from the dirt roads onto the main street of Astana, and I was immediately pulled over by the police for crossing double white lines.
Will, what are your thoughts of Kazakhstan so far?
It's shit.
Why?
Why? It's hot. The red tape is ridiculous. You have to register within 5 days at the immigration office, but the immigration office says they don't speak good enough English and you have to go to the travel agency. And they tell you it's a travel agency and then you don't know where one is because they can't direct you. They say just go up there and go right. And so you do. Then you walk for 15 minutes and you come across nothing that looks like a travel agency. Luckily you ring your girlfriend and she tells you what the word is for travel agency and then you're able to ask people. And eventually you find one. And then they say it's too late now because you've spent 3 hours at immigration. And so you have to leave their passports with them and you can no longer leave in the morning because you have to register.
And
It's been really good.
and how about the police here in general? Pretty friendly mob like the Russians? They were good.
They're awesome. The police are fantastic. They pull you up to say hello and ask for a bribe at every opportunity, whether you're doing anything wrong or not. Thankfully, it's not me doing anything wrong. Usually, it's you. So far, James has been pulled up for not having his lights on, for turning left across double lanes, and apart from that, just regular check stops.
And how many cities have I been told to get out of?
Well, 2 so far, out of the 2 that we've been in. So it's not too bad.
So the police like me, clearly.
So you may recall that through a fair period of this trip, James was saying Russia is not James friendly. Guess what? Kazakhstan's a hell of a lot less James friendly. They actually physically tell him to go away.
So we've now been searching for a jerry can for 2 weeks, and that means every day for 2 weeks.
I got one jerry can. It was plastic. It stunk, but I had to go throw it away.
He managed to get that off a local who happened to have an old one in the back of his ute. But
Oh, hey, English. I hear English.
Have a nice time.
Jumping castle.
Enjoy your stay.
Jumping castle. Yes, I do believe at 2 a.m. there was still singing coming from the mosque last night. Oh no, it was 4 a.m. We couldn't get to sleep. Dusty, dirty, and not very hospitable.
Welcome to Kazakhstan. My name is Azamat.
Yes, I know. We met Azamat. Oh, hang on. Just to...
Azamat, very nice to meet you. I fight in war against Czechoslovakia.
Yes.
Shake hands. My name is Azamat. Shake hands. What's your name? Your name?
I will.
Shake hands. My name is Azamat. Shake hands. Shake hands.
My hand is dirty now. I need to eat my food.
You need to eat with dirty hands. Shake hands. It's been days. It's been 7, 8, 9, no, 10 days. I can't take it anymore. So you have a chemistry. benzene. Fuel canister. Please. Yet.
I have a question, James. How much time have we spent travelling and how much time have we spent searching for a jerry can?
I think about 4 days out of 14 searching for a jerry can. All over, everywhere. All over Finland, all over Russia, all over Kazakhstan.
Something extremely special has happened today. We went on another long drive out of our way to search for jerry cans and we found them! Unbelievable! We have.
How many jerry cans do you have in your car now?
3. So I'll have 80 litres of fuel, you'll have 2, you'll have 80 litres of fuel. That should be enough to get us to Mongolia. I am excited.
Excellent. And what did you do to the radios?
The radios are stuffed again. This time because the charging cords are broken in both of them.
Did they ever break in my car while I was charging them?
No, but your car has broken 2 power adapters. So I think realistically you can't claim to have the upper hand on those.
Absolutely. My radios all work.
I think you'll find the radios are all flat. With plenty of fuel, we drove and drove, then camped on the side of the road, and then drove some more. Beautiful freezing rivers aside, we just wanted to get the hell out of Kazakhstan.
I'm shivering because it's cold. James can't open his jerry can. We have a major problem here. The inability of James to open his jerry can. He's done it. He's broken his hand in this cold weather, but he's done it.
Beautiful, here we go.
Now, he's going to realise that I'm going to have to hold the funnel at some point. No, it's a one-man job apparently.
Except that my car's broken so I can't leave my leg. Please don't rest at the camera there. I'm serious, please do not do that.
Apparently he's serious. Look at his serious face. Hang on, do your serious face. See? Serious face. He's doing a masterful amount of work here. Look, his serious face is gone. His smiley face is back. I can see it, his smiley face.
A few minutes later, a crazy Russian flagged us down because he wanted to say hi.
Я вообще не понимаю.
Your name James William.
Бонд
Yeah,
тоже.
exactly. What's your name?
Геннадий.
Gennady.
Yes.
Yeah, so this road here,
This one?
is that boom, 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 or is it nice and easy?
Да,
It's boom, 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 boom.
Там труба бум-бум.
Don't go there. Finally, it was time to put the potholes of Kazakhstan behind us. I've never been so happy to be camping in Russia. So once again, we've managed to find a beautiful camping spot. There's my car with all its crap in it. Right by a lake. It's absolutely gorgeous here. But the major issue with this site is, well, it's right here.
Let's just verify.
The horse shit. Look at this. Now, let's just see where these tracks lead. Oh dear. That is caked on William's car, and let's just make sure that it was only his back wheel that copped it. Oh no.
But hang on.
That's a lot of horse shit.
Hang on a minute.
What? I don't understand the problem.
Hang on a minute here. The car that drove through first drove through the middle of where we intended to camp. We're going to follow this track up here. And what do we see? And let's just look here.
That's nothing. I don't know what the problem is.
Oh dear. Should we check the front wheel as well? Oh. Have a look here. Instead of having 2 perfectly legitimate camping areas with heaps of room for both our tents, we're now down to 1 with our tents with about a foot between them. It's like living in a London townhouse again.
You never lived in a London townhouse.
I stayed there with Martin.
That was 2 nights.
Broke the shower.
That was 2 nights. That
And
doesn't count.
You broke the shower in 2 nights.
Yes, I broke his shower. I am very sorry, Martin, if you are listening to this.
He's not Martin, he's laughing right now. Okay. Because we failed miserably to light a fire at the moment, we've got some toilet paper burning on there.
Whoa! It's on your foot, it's on your foot!
We finally got a
The
fire.
problem is the fire is centralised around a jerry can. It may or may not explode in now or at some point soon.
Hey Will, you're down a jerry can.
What? There's nothing on my foot.
Your foot was on fire, Will.
Hey, my foot was on fire, apart from that. Hey, our normal little fire's working.
Yeah, I know. Can you believe it? The fire we lit has actually come up all right now. On its own.
In all honesty, I'm concerned about what we do now.
So am I, Will. Just pull all the pegs out quickly, Will. It's only 3 on each end. Can you bring the other one?
We can go to another campsite now, quick group.
Alright. Fuck, now it'll explode when I go.
Okay, James, we need to pack this up, put it in the car and drive.
Back onto the road, about 2 minutes later, some stationary police tried to flag us down, but we weren't stopping for anything. And as my car ticked over to 100,000 kilometres, I knew that this would be a night that I would never forget.
So this is our beautiful camping spot that we had last night. As you can see, it's actually a pretty nice spot. The ground's nice and flat. There's no horse shit anywhere. No horse shit, no petrol fires. This is by far better than the previous spot. Will, your thoughts?
Well, my biggest problem at the moment, come down here, come look at my foot, is that for some amazing reason, my shoelace has burnt itself onto the rest of my shoelace. I don't know how that happened. In moments of panic, James is unable to fold his tent. Noting that for future reference in case we do have any other further moments of panic.
Are we likely to, Will? Because let's
Not
face it.
involving jerry cans, I think we've been there, done that this trip. However, Mongolians on horseback with swords or guns, quite possible that I'll be away in the car and James will still be trying to fold his tent.
Yesterday, big flock of blackbirds dotted across the road, and William was driving in front, drove through the birds. The birds then took flight, flew in a big arc, came around, and I was about 100 metres behind William. They flew directly in the path of my car, so I'm driving through this big flock of birds that's crossing directly across the front, hoping that I wouldn't actually hit one of them, that they'd be quick enough to get out the way.
Unfortunately, they were not.
Okay, so mid-rally car damage assessment. We've got the grille here, a bit cracked there, coming around to this side of the vehicle. We've got this piece here, obviously, which broke, well, really early on in the rally. We've got the tyre, which is hanging down. Look at this. That is going to be lucky to survive.
Damage? No damage? No damage? No damage? No damage? No damage? My mid-rally assessment is pretty good. I don't really have any damage. Oh, hang on. Unless we look under the car. The park brake cable has been hit the bottom of the ground numerous times and is currently pretty screwed. That one mainly, the other one seems alright. This has got gashes at both the top and bottom from smacking against here. Thankfully, this part of the engine has hit the ground so many times and this bolt remains intact somehow, being the lowest point. Everything else seems pretty good. The suspension's not bent, the axle's good, the wheels are good. So I'm exceptionally happy with my little car. I think it's faring much better than James's. And ready to hit the road, get to Barn Oil and get a few supplies before making the trek finally into Mongolia.
With my spare tyre nearly falling off, we saw a mechanic in a small town and ended up being separated without comms for a while as I followed the mechanic through a maze of streets to another workshop.
The spark plugs?
Spark plugs.
Spark,
Yeah,
spark
yeah,
place,
yeah.
so.
That. Turns out my wheels. Not exactly straight. Okay, you've heard of flat spots on tyres. Well, this is something a little bit worse than that. It's a flat spot on my rim. Oh, can't see anything major.
Oh my god, your brake cable's worse than mine.
My brake cable's coming apart.
Bent steel wheels, frayed brake cables, and broken metal. No worries for our new Russian friend.
Yuri, you have done very well, my friend. Very well.
For payment, he asked us to wear t-shirts and place stickers on our cars for a political party that he supports, and also to pose for a photo for the local paper.